I used to feel fake on sales calls. I mean, I was doing exactly what I was told to do by my sales managers from the videos I was watching, the questions, the word tracks, the scripts. But I just felt fake and weird asking certain questions on the script. Now, I wasn't making bad money, but I knew I was leaving money on the table until I made this one tweak. Then I felt a lot more natural on sales calls. Prospects started opening up to me more. My results got a lot better and became a top sales rep on top sales teams, including Sales Sniper and 7th level. And the reason why I felt weird and fake on sales calls was simply because I was using lines and scripts that were simply not mine. So the people I was learning from, on their sales call, they would say things like, just being the boring guy. You staying out of trouble back there? Do you like what you're doing for a living? Which was working phenomenally for them. And when I started doing this, when I started imitating and mimicking those, I started getting better results than before, for sure. But also, there was a lingering conversation and that feeling back in my mind where I don't talk like this. Like, this is just simply not me. Don't get me wrong, I was getting better results than before, but it just felt weird and fake almost on every single call. And in the dating world where I come from, there's a term called the law of state transference, okay? So for a quick synopsis, before I even got into sales, I came from the pickup and the dating community where I was going out and cold approaching about 50 women a day for 6-7 days a week for months and months. And from there, what I learned is that, let's say I'm going out approaching a girl, right? If I'm feeling weird, a lot of times, the girl feels weird too, right? Also in psychology, they also call this term emotion contagion, where the other person is contagious. So if you feel weird, they're most likely to feel weird. If you feel a bit tense, the other person will most likely feel tense, whether women or prospects. And because I was feeling a bit weird asking those questions, I could tell sometimes the prospects will feel a bit kind of weird, a bit closed off, and they'll be a bit tense also. So just like how in the dating context, I could memorize the perfect pickup lines, like a perfect thing to say to the girl, but I would notice that something I would say when I was working with the dating coach would say the exact same thing where I would get a mad kind of reaction from the girl, but when the dating coach said it, the girl would just crack up, open up, and melt like an ice cream. And so the same thing, what I realized in the sales calls is that I only came to this realization later. The people I was learning from, while it was phenomenally working well for them, and they're great at what they do, but also they're in their 40s and 50s. Now, when I first got into sales, I was in my mid-20s. I was 25 years old, right? Now I'm going into my 30s now, but still, I do not talk like that, right? I don't do necessarily like those dad jokes. That's just not how I talk. Because there was a disconnect, it wasn't as effective, and in my body, my nervous system was saying that, hey dude, this is a bit weird. So what really helped in this context is me really saying it and delivering the questions in a way that really suited for my best personality. So as an example, right? If I'm introverted, shy, and timid, I'm not just gonna be like, oh yeah, just be yourself, bro. Like that's not how it works, right? So what I would do is, okay, cool, how can I make this work for my personality, my sense of humor? So as an example, what I learned, the person I was learning from, they would go, just being the boring guy. And so what I would do is I'll tweak that a little bit because I have more of a dry, sarcastic sense of humor. So how I would do these days is, let's say I ask the prospect, hey, how are you doing? And the prospect goes, yeah, good, Brian, how are you doing? I'll simply go, just being Asian. And I'll say that with a straight, dry face to the point where the prospect clearly knows it is a joke. And so because of that, the prospect will start cracking up. I feel comfortable, I feel good because it's really on the same page as my sense of humor, my personality. You know what I'm saying? Another example too, let's say as an example, we're trying to uncover a problem that the prospect has, okay? Now, previously how I learned was you would ask it like, well, do you like what you're doing for a living? And I'd ask it that way, but also again, I'd feel a bit weird, right? So these days I just ask it like, okay, you like it? Okay, how's that going? It's a lot more casual. It's how I would talk to somebody in real life. So this was the biggest unlock for me is whenever I got a new sales script from like a sales course from a new company, when I would look at them, I'm like, this is not how I talk at all. This sounds super robotic. It sounds super salesy. And this is just not how I speak. This is just not how I carry myself. If it's proven to work well, right? I mean, model after exactly to the T and how that's working. But over time, I'm like, okay, I'm getting some data points here. I'm getting a better hang of it. Now I'm gonna modify it Okay, modify it more towards how I speak, how I carry myself. And so this is when I started feeling a lot more natural on sales calls. I started getting better results and the prospect felt more comfortable, and I just enjoyed getting on sales calls more. Now, if you want to get to 10K, 20K, 30K a month in commissions in high ticket sales by implementing some of this stuff, then that's what we help our students inside of our training program, Real Sales System, okay? So if you're a hardworking, intelligent individual that take responsibility for himself, then go to the first link in the description box below. You'll be able to see a demo of our training program, Real Sales System, and you'll be able to schedule a consultation if you're eligible. And you can check that out right after watching this video. Now, the second point is reframes and analogies, okay? So in high ticket sales, a lot of the techniques and objection handling or pre-handling, we use a lot of reframes and analogies, right? You may have heard the common ones like heavy is the head that wears a crown, or the island analogy, all these different things you might have seen from different people. So to give you an example, the heavy is the head that wears a crown example, which a lot of people use these days, it may go like, hey, have you ever heard of the term heavy is the head that wears a crown? Well, essentially it's a Shakespeare saying, meaning that, you know, as the man, as the provider, as the leader, the responsibility is heavy, yada, yada, yada. You'd go into that and help the prospect take responsibility, essentially to overcome a certain objection, like a partner objection, as an example. Now, the problem here was that I'll see these different analogies, and me being a good student, I would just memorize these to the T. I would memorize it, I'd practice it a lot, I'd do it in sales calls. But for whatever reason, these analogies and reframes were just not lending to the prospect. It was just not being that effective for me. And so in the beginning, I blamed the analogy and the reframe. I just thought to myself, well, maybe those ones are just not good. And later I came to the realization that, oh, I don't even know the point I'm trying to get across to my prospect by saying these analogies or reframes. As an example, right? I learned something called an island analogy, which goes something like, hey, you know, imagine yourself on an island, there's a whole bunch of water out there, and if you're trying to get off that island, you got to do this and this and this and this, right? I'll do that, and it was almost never worked for me. And so later I came to the conclusion that, well, it's not that the analogies are not good, because I've seen people have success with those analogies. It's just that I didn't know what the I was trying to do with those analogies. I don't know what was the point I'm trying to get across to the prospect, right? The whole point of that analogy is you deliver that analogy to the prospect that is a bit uncertain and they want more certainty. They may say something like, is there a guarantee? I don't know if this will work. What if this doesn't work out? And the whole point of the analogy is that, well, dude, listen, if you want to get off that island, you got to start taking steps forward, even though you may not know all the steps yet. AKA, you gotta start doing something, AKA, you gotta move forward. That was the whole point. I didn't know that until many, many years later. And so once I started getting a better understanding of these analogies, now I was able to deliver these analogies, reframes, and stories in a more effective manner because I understood it myself. I have more conviction and certainty behind it. And so again, same thing as the previous point. Number one, I modeled after it while it's already proven to work. So I'll do this analogy and reframes, I'll do that. Later on, what I'll do is I'll start to modify it and iterate it based on my personal worldview and my personal life experiences. So I'll give you another example, okay? So another analogy that I learned is something called the 4,000 dots analogy, okay? That I learned from a former CEO at 7th level. And the analogy goes something like, oh, listen, I used to have a poster in my room that has 4,000 dots on it. Do you know what those dots are for? And the prospect goes, no, what is it? Well, essentially it's a one dot for a week of life that an average human is given in their lifetime. The whole point of the analogy is to add more urgency within the prospect. If the prospect thinks that, oh, I can, do it later, let me think about it, one day's not gonna hurt. Right? So I started doing that. Later on, what I started to do is I would weave in short personal story that would relate to that analogy or reframe. So I'll give you an example. Let's say the prospect has like emergency, right? Oh, I was like, I don't know if that's not a big deal. Then I might go, yeah, maybe not. I mean, listen, I used to have a poster in my room that has 4,000 dots on it. Do you know what those dots are for? And the prospect goes, no, what is it? Well, it's one dot for a week of life that an average human is given in their lifetime if they're lucky. Now, when I was 21 years old, I had a buddy who was 20 years old who did not get to use all of his thoughts. So he thought he had tomorrow. I thought he had tomorrow until a car came out of nowhere and he's not here with me anymore. And so that's what gives me a lot of urgency in life and not pushing things off that I know I need to do to get to my goal. Because my friend, he did not get to use all of his dots. He only got to use 1,000 out of 4,000 dots. And me thinking that I have tomorrow, I have unlimited dots would be me pretty much spitting on my friend's face, and I'm not gonna do that, which has served me well so far and move further in life. So at the end of the day, right now in this moment, what do you feel like you need to do right now to put yourself in the best possible position to you getting to 10K a month and retiring your wife and be a better provider for your family? So you see how I didn't go on a whole Saturday Night Live monologue, right? That's another mistake that most sales reps make is they start to do an analogy or a reframe and they don't know where the they're taking it, right? When I was doing the island analogy, and I don't understand the island analogy, I was lost in the island myself. I was like, what the where the am I going with this, right? So I made it concise at the same time. I made it punchy while weaving in my personal story where I could deliver it with more level of conviction. We could say the same But when you have more conviction and certainty behind the words behind it, then it becomes a lot more effective and natural. So here's a mantra I always say with the sales reps that I train is mean what you say and say what you mean. Whether it be discovery questions, whether it be pitch, whether it be objection handling. So here's the thing, this basic YouTube video is good, right? It's good for entertainment, whatever. But will this YouTube video alone help you double, triple, quadruple, or 5x your commissions and make a drastic change in your life? Well, it probably won't, right? It's the same thing we tell to our prospects. So if you want to get hands-on feedback from me directly, and you want to get to 10K, 20K, 30K a month in commissions and provide a better life for your family, no income claims though. But if you're a hardworking individual, you're intelligent, you take responsibility for yourself, then you can go to the first link in the description box below. You can watch the demo of our training program, how it works. And if you're eligible, you'll be able to schedule a consultation call.